Alright guys, new shells, who this? It's time for a live reaction to these new shells and evaluation to these new shells. Are they gonna be viable for us or not? How good are they gonna be? I haven't looked at it. The update just went live like a few seconds ago. So let's get right into these Reaper steps here. Reaper steps. So, whenever this unit resists any debuff effect, gain 20% turn meter. Can only trigger 1 time per turn. Can also trigger when the Animus is unable to act. Okay, so a new cleansing ability somewhat. That means they try to make it that you can put this onto someone like a Doki, for example. And the Doki pushes up, right? She pushes up 20%. 20%. Is 20% enough for playing against the debuffer, against the Heinrich? Let's say you resist a debuff against Heinrich, which is very likely that you at least resist once, right? So if you resist against the Heinrich once, you get 20% turn meter. So if you have a Doki on 280, you should be able to cut and then push. So finally something that could work. So I think that's great. Yeah, that's probably the best thing that we have so far, right? We've been asking, let me put on the lights actually here, guys. Oh, I'm getting blinded here, flashbanged. This is probably the best we have for anti-CC team now. This is probably the best we have so far to deal with CC. Of course, when you have that on your Doki is not going to be that good in other pieces of content, but at least she's going to be specifically made to counter control, because Alicorn, let's be honest, Alicorn is ass. It's hot garbage. 20%, I'm thinking Doki, but at the same time, you could also put this on, I could see this. Okay, so this is something I could also see on, let's say you build this. Does it have, it doesn't have Bulwark. I was hoping for some of the new shells to have Bulwark. Of course, this doesn't have Bulwark, so you could resist something, but actually thinking about it, with it not having Bulwark is kind of annoying. I know the Bulwark would be counterintuitive with the passive, but still, I'm not too sure about not having Bulwark here, guys. I'm not too sure about not having Bulwark here. It'd really be a tough one. It sometimes do be a tough one. Okay. No Bulwark there. We'll have to see. If the opponent opens up with a Heinrich, right? This is perfect when you have this. But if your opponent opens up with something else than a Heinrich, let's say your opponent opens up with a Mia, or your opponent opens up with a Obel. Well, it doesn't matter if you push 20% up. Yeah, I'm getting to the realization now. It doesn't matter if you push 20% up when you get stunned anyways. Alright? So, we'll have to see how it performs. In theory, it could work against certain things, but also can be countered, huh? We'll have to see. Now, Ouroboros. This is going to be an interesting one. Let me see. When this Animus takes action, if self HP percent is higher than 70%, increases the damage dealt by the host by 6% and speed by 6, up to 7 stacks. What? When this Animus takes action, if self HP percent is higher than 70%, increases the Animus damage dealt by 6% and speed by 6, up to 7 stacks. So 7 times 6, what is that, guys? That is 42, am I right? Yeah, 42% more damage and 42% more, 42 more speed. If we take a look, hold up now, 42. The Golden Lion here, on the other hand, has a 40%, but every 2 times the Animus takes action on most units. So this stacks very quickly when Animus takes action if self HP percent is higher than 70%. But you gotta be higher than 70%, and I assume Now, I hope this is going to be that way. I assume that when your HP is higher than 70%, you get that increase, but when you're at 40%, you still have the increase from the previous rounds, but you're just not going to get the bonus, you know? And then here we have very interesting, hold up, we have a bulwark finally. We have a bulwark, we have Kenai, Khloros Guard, Bloodbath, we have all of the good stuff. Bramble, Swift Rush, Ether Plague. We have all of the good stuff here. I'm thinking right now, Bloodbath Kenai is crazy, no? You can put a Bloodbath Kenai on someone, that is crazy, no? Like Bloodbath Kenai, Ouroboros, Batsby, thoughts on that note? Because Batsby cycles quite fast, so he's going to be able to go very quickly at the beginning of the game. Something to consider at least. But the Batsby, is he going to survive long enough with all these new units? We'll have to take a look at the new units as well, right? Then Sword VII. Sword VII. When this Animus takes action, if self attacks controlled enemies within 2 turns. This is a controlled. When this Animus takes action, if self attacks controlled enemies within 2 turns, deals 50% more damage. What does that mean? Why is it reworded so weirdly? So you're telling me if your opponent is frozen, hypothetically speaking, and you have this on an Animus equipped and your opponent is frozen, you're going to deal 50% more damage to that opponent? Am I reading this correctly? That sounds disgusting. We don't need a stronger control cleave. We need some answers into control cleave. And let me tell you, this looks like shit. Tiger Jin. When this Animus takes action, selects the enemy with the lowest HP percentage, prioritizing boss, and deals 180% damage to the target, increasing their first hit of damage taken in this turn by 50%. Okay, so they're really trying to speed up the games now. They're really trying to speed up the games, but they're... okay. So they're speeding up the games big time. The only issue I have with this is... oh my god, that sounds broken. Turn 1 is disgusting now. Isn't this completely busted? Like all of this? This seems busted for turn 1. This seems busted for turn 1. This, I don't see how you're going to be able to stack this. And this is not an answer, I feel like. Whenever this unit resists any debuff effect, gains 20% turn meter. 20% turn meter. I'm not too sure about that, guys. I'm not too sure about that. Okay, this is disgusting for cleave. As if cleave is... oh my god, as if I'm not already banning Messiah every game. Don't you just put this on any hard-hitting unit and you one-shot that anything? Like with the 50%, imagine a 50% damage increase, if I'm not mistaken here. Imagine you have a 50% damage increase on a Messiah ult. Anyone dies. Literally anything. You can build them however you want. They're gonna die. So this is a guaranteed one-shot whenever this procs. What the heck? Okay, so that seems to be disgustingly... that seems to be... oh my god. What the heck? Okay, so... this is a disgusting cleave option. I thought this is going to be another cleanse option from the way it looks. It's kind of bugged. But it's not. This seems very broken in my book. This seems very broken in my book. Better than Rev. Better than Count as well. Looking at the matrices, which ones do we have? All of the good ones. All of the good ones. Even Bloodbath in here. That's crazy. So, and Bulwark. That seems disgusting. So the Tiger Jin seems very broken in my book. Very broken in my book. 50% bonus damage there. It's crazy. And the sword, I don't see why you would use this when you could just use the Tiger Jin. Maybe this works for AoE, I guess. So if you full control your opponent, your entire enemy teams takes 50% more damage. Maybe. But you still gotta hit these stuns. You need more setups than with the Tiger Jin. Then the Ouroboros, I don't see the game is lasting that long. I'm not too sure if that's gonna be viable. The only viable option where I could see this be super good is it on some aggressive unit with a lot of speed, a lot of damage. But if I look at this, right? If I look at this, I'm thinking, why would I run this? I mean, you could potentially, if you look at it, Bulwark, Bloodbath, Khloros Guard, you could potentially run it on a Holton maybe. But if I look at this, why would I run this on a cleave unit when I could just run Tiger Jin? Tiger Jin seems busted. If I'm not mistaken, this seems completely busted. And the Reaper Steps, kinda iffy. Looks kinda iffy to me. I'm gonna go and build my cleave team any second now. But this is the first impression, guys. Let me know what you guys think. These seem super busted, especially this Tiger Jin here is basically a guaranteed nuke on anyone. Like 50% bonus damage on a Messiah S3 or a Liliam S3, anything. This is a spells doom to that unit. Let me know what you guys think of these new shells. They seem very strong, especially the Tiger Jin is the one that I'm looking at specifically that seems extremely busted, especially also it has exactly the best of the best everywhere here. But yeah, scary for turn 2 players, definitely. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, for more.